Welcome everyone to episode 24 of Missing Pieces. If this is your first time watching or listening, as this is available everywhere that podcasts are available, this is where I sit down and I discuss my life and Lego and anything else that was on my mind from the last week. And this last week I had a lot on my mind, and I've got a great episode to share with you today. But before we get into today's topic, which is Lego YouTuber drama and cancel culture, I have some quick follow-ups from the last episode, which were mainly revolving around my audio setup here. I switched over to a different microphone, and I'm recording this using an iPhone as a webcam. And I asked your guys' opinions in the last episode, and everyone basically said it sounded great, it looked good, and this really works out well for me. So we're just going to stick with this setup, and I do appreciate you guys kind of giving me the feedback on that, because otherwise I'm just putting things out into the world and I have no idea what you guys think. So I appreciate all the feedback on that. And speaking of feedback, if you guys want to support this podcast, there's a couple ways to do that. You can do it by supporting us on Patreon, which I think pretty much everybody that listens to this knows that. But you can also leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and you can listen to it on Spotify as well. But I typically check the Apple reviews, and we're up to 78 ratings, which is good. But I think we can do better. I think we can get this to at least 100, because I know for a fact, I went in and I checked all the statistics, and there's about 800 people a week that are listening to this podcast outside of YouTube, and that's going up every single week. So for there only to be 78 ratings in Apple Podcasts, which is the number one place that people listen to this, I think we need to step it up a little bit. I will read the most recent review that we got, though. This is from Anthony, who says, I've been a brickitect fan for about 6 months. I'm in college, but the YouTube channel has given me something to watch with my younger brothers. We love seeing you and Clark interact and play with Lego, and it's really helped my brothers get into Lego the way I was when I was their age. I love listening to this podcast when I'm at work. It helps pass the time, listening to your thoughts on things. I would highly recommend this podcast to anyone who loves Lego or anyone looking for an extremely entertaining podcast. You won't regret it. Thank you so much, Anthony. That's a really nice review. So many positive things have come from these, and we have 78 ratings, and every one of them is 5 stars. So I appreciate you guys for that, and I always love seeing the feedback on the YouTube comments as well. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the topic that you guys came here for, which is Lego YouTuber drama and cancel culture. And it sounds dramatic, and it's intended to be. This is actually going to be an episode where I discuss something that happened to me and a story from the last week, and it actually goes all the way back to last Sunday when the last Missing Pieces episode was uploaded, and it even goes back further than that. Let me take you all the way back to last Wednesday. This is going back about 10 days. I'm on a podcast with a friend of mine, or a couple friends of mine, called Bricks and Bits. Ryan of M&R Productions is the person that hosts it on his channel. Also, Just Too Good is another host as well as me. And we've been doing this podcast for like 2 years together, and it's been a lot of fun. And I always talk about this idea that I had on this podcast. And some of my ideas are great, and they turn into things that are awesome. And some of my ideas are great in my mind, but then when they actually materialize, they're not good at all. And that's what we're going to be getting into here. But I had this idea that me and Ryan, or anyone in general in the Lego YouTube community, should start some fake drama, because people love Lego drama, and I've seen like what happens when people kind of go back and forth, and I thought, how fun it would it be to have like a WWE style drama going back and forth between like me and another Lego YouTuber. And it'd be like one of those things where the audience wouldn't necessarily know if it's real or fake, and it would go like from this person to that person, and it would be very much like just like a show, and it would be like fun for engagement and get people going back and forth. And I've talked about this several times before, and the reason that I'm talking about this now is because on that episode last Wednesday, Ryan started off the episode by saying, and this is actually true, that someone that watched the previous episode of Bricks and Bits said that they would like the guest to replace me on the show as a host. So Ryan said that he's kicking me off, and we made a joke of it and all this stuff, and that was that. And 4 days went by or whatever, Bricks and Bits went live. I saw all kinds of positivity on there from all the viewers saying like, don't kick Greg off, we love Greg. And again, you guys are really good to me. But it sparked this idea in my mind Sunday afternoon of actually bringing my fake YouTube drama to life. And I was like, what could I do? So I made this really quick video. It was like a 2-minute video. I literally just sat down and recorded this without much thought. But I made this video talking about how Ryan betrayed me as a friend and how upset I was. But I threw all these sarcastic lines and stuff in there. In fact, I think what I'll do, since it's only 2 minutes, I'm just going to throw the video audio in here right now. Video for YouTubers, but if you're watching this or listening to this on Apple Podcasts and you've already left your review, I'll just throw the whole video in here so you guys can get some context for this, and I'll be right back with you to talk about it. This is a pretty difficult video for me to make, but I feel like I really need to respond to this controversy that's happening right now. As if you guys watched the Bricks and Bits podcast today on M&R Productions channel, you found out that I've been kicked off the show. Something that I've really enjoyed doing the last almost 2 years now. Every Wednesday night we get together, me, Ryan, Justin, sometimes a guest. We get on there and we record a podcast. We have a good time together. It goes out on Sunday and you guys enjoy it. Well, unfortunately, what has happened is a few vocal fans of Ryan's have said that they no longer want me on the show. And apparently Ryan has felt that way for some time as well. And he informed me live in the last week's podcast that I've been kicked off the show. And it really, really deeply hurt my feelings. I just give you the backstory on this. I signed up to do Bricks and Bits. Ryan requested that I come on the show to essentially carry the podcast, to be the entertainer, to be the person that leads the charge, to be the person that gets people to actually watch it, because without me, he knew that the show was doomed. And apparently, over the last year and a half, he's forgotten that. And now he's going to finally see the consequences of not having brickitect on Bricks and Bits, because the show is going to tank. I mean, who do you have left? You've got a Mantis and you've got Ryan, the bottom of the barrel of Lego YouTubers, and a podcast together. What could they possibly do now? As I sit here and think about this, I just have so many emotions that are running through me right now. It's the devastation of a friend betraying you and the humiliation of being publicly fired the way that I was. It just all leaves a lot of hurt in me. And I feel like there's nothing more I can do than get revenge. So at this point, I'm going to be starting the initiative of the We Do Not Want a 501st Battle Pack, just to get back at Ryan for this. And I hope this causes all kinds of damage to him, and I hope it's something that he can never come back from. So Ryan, if you're watching this, and I know that you are, this is war. Now that we've all experienced the kicked off Bricks and Bits video, for better or worse, I want to talk about the video a little bit and give you some context and tell you what it meant to me, and then we'll get into what this episode's really about, which is the audience's reaction to that video. So when I made the video, I was trying to be very serious and make it look like it was a serious thing, like in my WWE idea. And I think that came off really well. In fact, I think I could probably win an Academy Award for how upset I seemed, because that's not my typical character. And I think people, when they saw that, thought that was very serious, which is good. What I thought would be good. And I threw things in there that I thought would give people an idea that it wasn't necessarily real. Like I talked about Ryan and Justin being bottom of the barrel YouTubers. I talked about how they brought me on because they knew it would fail without me and I was the only source of entertainment. And then to top it off, which I really thought would give people the idea that this is not real, I created the We Don't Want a 501st Battle Pack movement at the end. And I thought that would be the icing on the cake to let people know that it was fake. Not to mention that if you actually went over and watched the Bricks and Bits video, you could tell from the very beginning, like when I was kicked off, it was already a joke. So I thought this was going to be hilarious, and I wanted to see what would happen with this. And unfortunately, it went really, really bad. My experiment in creating fake Lego YouTuber drama went incredibly bad. Instantly, I was getting bombarded by comments from people saying how much they hated Ryan and how he betrayed me, which I kind of put that out there, and that they were going to unsubscribe from him and all these terrible things. Meanwhile, I didn't really tell Ryan about any of this. I wanted him to kind of be surprised just like everyone else. I also did an Instagram post of the fake 501st Battle Pack movement, or the We Don't Want a 501st Battle Pack movement. And he saw that and he's like, what the hell? So he comes over to YouTube and he saw it, and we're texting back and forth. And he thinks it's great. He loved the video. But again, the response to it was getting really out of hand. Like it was, people were going over to Bricks and Bits and disliking that video, and they were just completely canceling Ryan, which is what we're going to get into here with the cancel culture thing. With me just making a 2-minute video, just telling my side of a story, which wasn't even true, I had all these people, and let's admit, some of these people are probably younger kids. And I should also say that there were a lot of people that totally got it. There were people that thought it was funny. There were people that were questioning whether it was a joke. And I think there were some people that were just like, I don't know what's going on here. So they moved on. But the vocal majority were people that were canceling Ryan and really being hateful towards him. And these were fans of his too. And you can listen to Bricks and Bits, which is, I think, out today and maybe out around the same time this is, to see some of the feedback that Ryan shared. But he was having some of his most loyal fans that have been with him for years just instantly disown him for doing this. And it just kind of was interesting to me that just seeing one side of a story, not getting the other side of the story, not having any context, not being able to verify whether what is being said is true or not, people would just instantly do that. And I guess it's kind of a testament to the culture that we're in right now. This happens to celebrities all the time. All it takes is one bad move or one simple thing to end an entire career of good things that you've done, and like positivity that you may have put out there is just wiped away in an instant like that without actually being properly verified. I mean, oftentimes these things actually come out to be true later, but it's sad to like just destroy somebody based on nothing, especially something that's a joke. So what I did with this video is after like an hour of it, I privatized it. I was like, I don't want to let this go on any longer. Ryan and I were discussing, and he's like, yeah, we should probably take it down. So I took it down. Just to be clear, I didn't monetize the video or anything when it was up. Like, it was just all in good fun. It was supposed to be in good fun, but it definitely didn't turn out that way. And I guess maybe what could be one of the most frustrating things for me, not only the whole cancel culture thing, but the most frustrating thing for me personally was that in the short period of time that video was up, it actually got more views than the podcast that I put out earlier in the day. And just to give you a comparison between the podcast and that was just a 2-minute video of just a real quick thing that I put very little effort in. These podcasts, I pour my heart and soul into these. It's like a 30-minute episode of me just telling you all of my inner thoughts and all the things that are going on in my life. And for me, it's just like, it's sad that that's how things are. And I know that's the way it is. And I've seen it play out that way before, but people don't want the deep stuff. People want the drama. People want the mouth breather stuff, as I call it. People want that the juice. They want the tea. They want it's just, I don't know. And I can totally understand. I mean, it's the same way that news or like cable news stations work and things like that. You don't get views and you don't get people's attention by just being like normal and being like middle of the road. You have to like shock them, wow them. You have to tell them something that like freaks them out, scares them, gets them fired up. And that's exactly what happened there. It's just sad to me that more people are interested in that. I guess it's like the same thing. Like I made a joke yesterday in my live stream. I can make a video called I Found the Meaning of Life. And I may actually do this as an experiment. I can make a video titled I Found the Meaning of Life. And then that would get so many views. But then if I uploaded a video right after that titled Top 5 Ugliest Lego YouTubers, that video would destroy that other video in views. And it's just like, what if it was actually true? What if I did find the meaning of life? Instead of watching that video, you're probably going to watch the top 5 ugliest Lego YouTubers, which I have a great idea for that video. Actually, Papa Bear from the stream yesterday gave this idea to me, and I think it's hilarious. So I think I have to make it happen, and you guys are going to be in for a treat when I do it. But I guess it's just frustration. I guess that's what I'm feeling. Like, frustrated that, well, I'm not really frustrated that people took me seriously, because I did come off kind of serious. And I don't, as much as I joke around about things, that video, if you watched it out of context, you may think like, man, that Ryan guy is a total jerk for doing this to you, Greg. Like, you obviously really enjoyed being on there, and he kicked you off just like that. Like, what a jerk, you know? But again, maybe you should, before you make judgments on anything, whether it's things that you see, things that you read, things that you think are true, get some backstory on it. If it involves someone else, give them a chance to speak their mind. Maybe I should say this. With great power comes great responsibility. And I think where this episode needs to go, and I shouldn't be attacking people for thinking that it was true, or attacking people for canceling Ryan or anything like that. I should be attacking myself, in all honesty, because I have a pretty big subscriber base, and a lot of the people are impressionable. A lot of people follow my opinions. A lot of people care about how I feel. A lot of people, I would say more me than a lot of other Lego YouTubers, because I'm so personal with what I do. So when I make a video like that showing like that I'm hurt or upset or sad or whatever, I can see why people would go on the attack. So this is more me than anybody else. Like, let's just be clear on that. And that's my main lesson that I took away from this past week. It's that this fake Lego drama idea that I had is not a good idea at all, because there's too many people, unless you make it very clear that it's just like completely over the top and played up. Like, there was a segment at the end of that video that I cut out that I after the anti-501st movement, I was going to put a part in there about battling Ryan with a lightsaber, but instead I just ended it with, this is war. And I I thought that would be like the thing that would take us to like going back and forth and stuff. But the only way that we can really make this work if we do this, and I've talked to Ryan about this, because I feel like of all the people in the Lego community, me and him are the only ones that could really do this where we go back and forth. And I know that his audience is like super passionate as well, probably even more so than you guys are. And they would literally destroy me. Like I would get wiped off the face of the earth if me and him went at battle. But I think it needs to be clear, like if we're going to do this, and I think it would be fun to do this, I think it'd be like, you have to like be clear, like we're just playing around, this is for entertainment purposes only. But I think Ryan and I should like build something up maybe over the summer, because I think we're going to finally meet in person at Brick Fair, Virginia this year. But I'd like to have some type of drama thing that we build up and like culminates at Brick Fair, Virginia, where we like face off face to face or something like that. I think that'd be a really cool thing to hype. But maybe it's not a good idea. Like I say I've learned my lesson, but here I am like trying to plan for the next big drama thing. And I'm not doing it for views. I'm not doing it for notoriety. I'm not doing it for anything other than just to have fun. That's what I want to do on this channel. I don't really care about any of that stuff. I just want to have a good time and come up with crazy ideas and I don't know, just go crazy with it. But crazy was exactly the sentiment from this week, and I don't recommend anybody start any fake drama. I don't recommend any real drama either. Like, if you have a problem with someone in the Lego community or outside of it, don't make it public. I've seen people do this in the past, and it's such a bad idea. Don't make your grievances public. Handle things behind the scenes. Work things out. My thoughts are, you're much better off together than apart. So even if I were having issues with anyone, I would probably try to solve it. And I'm not a person that likes conflict. I usually try to be the bigger man, and I like talk things out. And I feel like communication can solve pretty much anything. But this is just a failed experiment, a failure on my part. I kind of made a fool of myself. I had to take the video down. I had to make an explanation video. It's like all the things that happen when you mess up, I had to do with this. But it was a lesson, and it was kind of an experience, and I think it made at least somewhat of a fun discussion here on this episode as well. And unfortunately, that was kind of the most exciting thing that happened this week. In other news, what else did we do? Roxy had surgery this week. I mentioned it casually in yesterday's mail video, and I saw a lot of you guys wishing her well. If you guys don't know, Roxy is my chocolate lab, a huge part of my life, and has been a part of my life since 2011. Essentially, Roxy is the reason that you guys are watching this video today, because I started a YouTube channel in 2011, and one of my first videos is bringing our chocolate lab home. I wasn't planning to make like pet videos or whatever. It was just kind of like documenting my life and the things we were doing, which happened to be like moving into our new house for the first time. And I made this bringing our chocolate lab video home, and it blew up, and it was crazy. And I saw this potential on YouTube, and all these people were watching our videos, so I just kept going. And then like a year later, I got my first $100 check from YouTube in the mail, and I was like, wow, I can make money doing this. So I just kept making videos, and look where we are today. So of all the things that you've seen on this channel, you can thank Roxy Bear for being the catalyst behind that. But she had surgery on her ACL, which is in her knee. She had this done about 4 months ago, where that one went, and then her other leg went. She's an older dog now, if you can't tell, but she's recovering well. Her whole side of her back is her back left quarter is shaved, and she's got staples in her leg, but she's already doing better now than she was before surgery in terms of walking. And I'm excited, because she's going to be fixed up here in the next probably like 6 to 8 weeks, which puts us right in springtime, and we can go out walking and doing all the things that we love to do. But I do appreciate all you guys wishing her well, and I saw a lot of people praying for her and stuff. But she's good to go, and I anticipate seeing her many times here on Brickitect. And if you guys do send treats again, I know a few people sent treats yesterday, she'll most certainly be down here. I try not to let her go down the stairs too much, but she'll most certainly be down here to snag the treats that you guys send. So thank you guys for doing that. Other things that we did this week, I started the video off with a shopping video. I was looking around on Lego. They were doing the 40th anniversary train. If you're listening, I'll give you some ASMR here. But if you're watching, you guys can see the 40th anniversary train. It's 40370 if you are looking this up on eBay, which I think it's going for like $30 or $40 right now. I was trying to figure out which set I should order in order to get that, because you had to spend $100. So if you've been following along, you saw that I got the Fiat, which is the back end of it is right over here if you're watching this. I think that was a smart move. I was between that and the Razor Crest. The Razor Crest was a pre-order. I wouldn't have gotten it until September, which God knows I'll be building that probably in September anyway. But I ordered the Fiat. I got a little Easter pack for Clarkman, and I got some dots. So that got me to the point where I could get the train. And I think that's going to be a fantastic build. I think I'm going to do that live because I've really been falling back in love with live streaming lately. Like, the late night radio show a couple weeks ago was really fantastic. I had a great time doing that. I meant to do one this last week, but I was just too tired the night I was going to do it, which kind of takes me to my big idea that I literally had maybe like an hour before recording this podcast. And if you guys in the feedback squad want to give me some feedback, this is the time to do it right after I take a drink, which I edited out for your viewing and listening pleasure. What I want to do is do the late night radio show. I find like the thing that I love to do the most is just talking to people on the streams. Like, it's not about building a set. In fact, things go terribly wrong when I try to multitask. I love just getting on and talking to people. Like, that's fun to me. Yesterday's stream was like 1 hour of me building and messing up, and then like another hour of just chatting, and it was great. So what I would like to do, being that the late night radio show is sometimes inconvenient, like I said, like I was too tired to record the episode, so the late night radio show didn't happen. What I want to do is create a series on there, because brickitect is the thing for 2020. I want to make a series just called Brickitect Live, where I come down here whenever, however I want, whether I'm building something or not. I just jump on and talk to you guys about whatever it is you want to talk about. And I feel like I could do it anytime, and it doesn't have to be like, well, this is the late night radio show and I need to wait until late night. And even that, I think I considered like still calling it the late night radio show, but doing it like whenever. And, you know, because you watch these late night shows on TV, like whoever it is that you watch, tune into NBC or CBS or whatever around 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and you can see what I'm talking about. They kind of advertise that they're live or whatever, but they're all pre-recorded. So I could record an episode early and then, you know, just have it out there, because I think a lot of people like to listen to them later on. At least that's the feedback that I've gotten. But what I really want to do with this whole idea behind the series, just called Brickitect Live. Essentially, that's what the whole entire channel would start to be, is just Brickitect Live. And, you know, put the date after it or whatever. And then when it's done, I could come up with a title, or better yet, follow through with my idea that I talked about with you guys last week, which was taking certain segments from it. Say we talk about a topic that I think is really awesome, or like really engaging, or like may have actually had a good point on for the first time in my life. Take that 5-minute segment and make it a video on Brickitect, and just kind of stagger those throughout the week. So if somebody's hopping on, you know, YouTube at 6 o'clock in the morning, there might be a Brickitect Live video there, like Brickitect on the state of YouTuber drama and cancel culture. That'd be kind of cool, right? Maybe it's like a 4-minute, 5-minute video, and you just jump on, listen to what I had to say about it. Saves you from sitting down for an hour of me talking endlessly about all this random stuff and engaging with questions that maybe you're not interested in. I think it could be a huge hit. I think that could be a really big win. And that's like something that I really want to do. Like, maybe, and I guess I already know this, but podcasting and broadcasting like this, like what I'm doing right now, is, I think, my favorite thing to do on YouTube. I just love sitting down and talking about things. And it's encouraged me that there's a lot of people out there. Like I said, the numbers are going up every single week on when I check the stats on the podcast on outside of YouTube. Like, I think there's about 4,000 people that sit down and actually watch this video at some point during the week. Of missing pieces, which is quite a commitment. I mean, this is very different from my typical content, where it's me and Clark for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. We do something, it's fast paced, it's engaging, and then you move on with your life. To sit down and listen to a dude talk about something completely random or whatever's on his heart for 30 minutes, that's a commitment. And not a lot of people have that. But to see the results of that, to see 4,000 people sit down and listen to this, to see another 800 people, and I'm sure that'll probably be like 1,000 by next week, or, well, that's maybe wishful thinking. Tell your friends, come over and listen to it. That's a really big podcast when you think about it. Like, I don't know what the stats are on Apple Podcasts or whatever for, like, you know, there's hundreds and thousands of podcasts on there, I'm sure. Like, you couldn't even find all the podcasts that are available. I would say having a podcast with roughly 5,000 people listening into it could probably be considered a successful podcast. And that has encouraged me to want to do more than this. I know, like, the long form content is something that I'd like to get into more as well. And this is just like a perfect way to do it. But what I'm missing in missing pieces, sort of like, I like having a narrative here where I have topics I want to talk about and we keep it very like focused. I'm missing that engagement. I like talking to people. And I think the Brickitect Live series could be a perfect opportunity to do exactly that, to just chat about whatever. I might get on at 5 o'clock in the morning. I might get on at 10 o'clock at night. I might be on at noon. But maybe for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, depends on how much fun we're having, we can just sit down and talk about whatever's on your hearts, whatever's on my heart, and maybe make some cool little vids out of it. And maybe you'll be a part of that. So that's like my big idea for this week. I feel like every week I have like kind of like this thing that hits me. It's like, that's really what I want to do. And I see Brickitect going in a really, really positive direction in the future. I think today, actually, speaking of positive directions, I think today we hit 90,000 subscribers, which is incredible. I'm going to be doing a contest for that, which I think I'll probably make the video for that tomorrow morning. I've got some other things to do today. My plan for this afternoon is to do the revival of eBay Lego shopping with Brickitect. I'm going to be trying to find some DC and Marvel stuff. We'll see if we can find any deals, put some offers in, try to score some things. I said on the live stream yesterday that I've been really getting into collecting minifigs lately, and I really love like the DC ones, the superheroes. I think they're great. So what I'd like to do is get on eBay, try to make some deals with people, get some sets on the cheap, get them shipped to me, build them up, show them off to you guys, maybe keep the minifig and then sell off like the ship or whatever comes with it, you know, because they always like, I feel like with licensed sets like that, it's always the minifigs that are like the star of the show, and then the set maybe kind of like the second act. So I might try to throw those up on eBay, on Sellitect, or maybe I'll just piece them out or whatever. I'm going to try not to save any boxes unless I have to, which I might have to. But yeah, it's kind of like the direction I want to go. You guys, I've gotten so much feedback when I've talked about the series that I want to start, and we're not even going to say the plural of series at this point. You guys want to see me shopping, so I'll take you live with me shopping on eBay. We'll look for some deals, and then when I get the set or whatever, we'll chop it up and make a video out of that for the actual Brickitect squad. But that's going to be on Brickitect Live. So if you're not subscribed to Brickitect Live and you're watching this as it comes out, go over and subscribe. Brickitect Live is where I do all my live streams, at least for now. I have considered just shutting down Brickitect Live and doing my streams on Brickitect, but if I plan to really stream as much as I really want to, I think I need to keep that avenue open. I want that to be a place where I just pollute it with live streams, and only the most hardcore of hardcores are going to want to be there. But maybe the gems I'll pull over on Brickitect. I think that's probably the best route. But I'm curious to hear your feedback on that. Speaking of feedback, we did have a lot of. I'm going to finish with this. If you're in a rush, you need to leave. This is pretty much where we're ending, but feedback on the last episode was fantastic. I read all of the comments. I did appreciate, I forget who it was. Let me see if I can get their name here. This is actually the most voted up comment from last week. It's from Matt's Lego Life. He gave me an entire schedule of things that I can do on this channel. I'll just read it off to you quickly. I thought this was great, and it has the most upvotes. Or not upvotes, thumbs ups, I guess. He said Monday could be Manic Monday or Slaying the Backlog. You and Clark build a Lego set out of the backlog. Tuesday, Mail Time, self-explanatory. Wednesday, Polybag Wednesday, doing a lucky dip into your polybag collection and building a polybag. Thursday, breaking it down or box life. Either breaking down sets into your collection or putting them back into boxes. Box life, finding creative ways to destroy the boxes. Friday is Frantic Friday, having a day where you do whatever you want. Build a set, don't upload, other ideas, Holotech, late night radio show, ? Saturday, eBay hunting, dealitect, finding eBay deals or city construction, mockitect, building your city or making something else. Sunday, missing pieces, face-to-face conversations with fans. Just an idea. Thanks for making this amazing channel, Greg. Easily my favorite on YouTube. Remember to do what makes you happy. Keep it up. From Matt's Lego Life. Matt, thank you so much for the advice. I love the idea of having a schedule like that. That was a big thing that I want to do, where I would love it to be where you come to Brickitect on a Monday and you're like, I know exactly what he's doing Monday. Monday is Manic Monday or Slaying the Backlog. You know, it's like, it'd be great to have that, but I do like having flexibility as well. Like, I like to come down here if I'm on a Tuesday and I'm just like, you know what I want to do today? I want to do this. Because that's the whole idea of like, not going to a job every day. Like, you go to a job, you know exactly what you're going to do every single day. It gets to be very mundane. I kind of like the idea of just going all willy-nilly, but for business purposes, probably not the best thing to do. And I probably need to get some discipline in that regard, but I do love that. I did see some other people also commenting, and Papa Bear commented on this, man of many ideas. I discussed using Lego Digital Designer to take you guys along with my experience in using that for the first time and trying to build some things. And he recommended using stud.io over that. He says he's used both in the interface, the integration of to order parts is much better, which would be fantastic because then I can build something on there and essentially just like order them. I've seen people do it, but I've never done it myself. And yeah, I think that's what I'll do then. That's great feedback. That's the reason I love having YouTube comments, because I'm about to do something stupid and you save me and have me do something smart. It's exactly what I need in my life. And I guess I'll leave you guys with this question. What do you need in your life? What are you missing in your life? Brickitect is coming through. What can you do to get to where you want to be in life? Is there something that you can do today to get to where you want to be tomorrow? If that's the case, try to make it happen today. And I'm going to leave you on that little piece of advice. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed all the drama in this one. And my also advice to you guys, if I could leave you with anything, is, again, if you ever see or hear or read something and it gets you all fired up and you're about ready to go do something extreme like cancel your favorite Lego YouTuber, try to get the backstory on it. Try to make sure it's legit. And also, don't listen to people like me. Don't listen to YouTubers, because we're just normal people just like anybody else. We make mistakes, and that's a lesson I learned this week. So on that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching and listening. If you want to support the podcast, link is down below. Also, you can leave a rating and review just like I mentioned before. And on that, we'll find you in the next Missing Pieces.